We are working on page 140 for our closed reader. Our story this week is called Stone Soup. And our background, remember, which tells us what is happening in our story, what the story is about, is that sometimes people act shy around new people, but often they find out that strangers can be nice. And our purpose for reading this story today is to find out how a stranger makes soup with a stone. And this story is called a Reader's Theater, and we've done this before. If you recall back in the classroom, we had one other story where we got to read parts. We had several people in the class stand up and read different parts. So today our three characters are narrator, traveler, and boy. Number 1 asks us to underline the sentence that shows what the traveler wants from the villagers. And number 2 wants to know why the villagers do not want to share with the traveler. So I'm going to read all three parts because it's just me here, so I'll try and do some different voices for you so you can tell the difference. A hungry man set out to search for food. He stopped in a village and knocked on the door of every home. "Please, could you share some food with me?" It startled the villagers to see a stranger. They would not share with him. The man leaned against a well. He took a pot out of his sack and filled it with water. "Well, what are you doing?" So we're supposed to underline the sentence that shows what the traveler wants from the villagers. So if we go under the sentence that the traveler said, he asks, "Could you share some food with me?" So please underline, "Could you share some food with me?" And what does startled mean? When you're startled by something, you can be surprised. Sometimes it could be some kind of being frightened. It could be shocked. But when you're startled, usually you're surprised. And it asks why the villagers don't want to share with the traveler, and it's because the traveler startled them. So your answer for number 2, why do the villagers not share with the traveler? Because the traveler startled the villagers. So please write your sentence. You can go ahead and pause while you write your sentence, and when you're done, go ahead and turn back on. Yep, can't get my page to turn here. Let's see. My computer, it went 2 pages now. We only want to go back 1. There we go. All right. So number 3 asks us to underline the sentence that tells what the traveler is making. And number 4 asks us, what does the traveler do to get food for the soup? So we're looking to find out what the traveler is making. "I've tossed a stone into my pot so I can make stone soup."
"Well, that's odd. Is stone soup good?"
"It is, but the soup would be better if I had a carrot."
"Oh, Grandma grows carrots. I'll ask her for one."
"Thank you. Please ask her to join us for soup." So what sentence tells what the traveler is making? It's our very first sentence. "I've tossed a stone into my pot so I can make stone soup." So underline that one. And what does the traveler do to get food? Let's go back up and look. He says the soup would be better if I had a carrot. And the boy says, "Grandma grows carrots. I'll ask her for one." So the traveler tells the child that the soup would be better with carrots, right? And so he's actually getting the food from the little boy. So what does he do to get food for the soup? He asks the little boy to bring a carrot. Or he says the soup would be good with a carrot, and the little boy says, "I will bring a carrot." Pause your video and write your sentence. Number 5, underline the foods that the villagers give to the boy. The boy stopped at all the villagers' homes. He gathered food to put into the pot. Soon the soup contained carrots, green beans, potatoes, and more.
"Is the soup ready?"
"Yes, it is just right." The man shared his soup with the grateful villagers. In turn, they made sure that he never went hungry again. So what foods did the villagers give to the boy? Let's go back to our paragraph that the narrator reads. It says the soup contained carrots, green beans, potatoes, and more. So that's what you're going to want to underline. And it asks, what lesson does this traditional tale teach about life? So what is a lesson? A lesson is something that teaches us something. So what does this story teach us? Because what happened at the beginning? The boy didn't want to, the villagers didn't want to share with the man because they were startled. But the boy started talking to him and found out he just wanted to make soup. And when everybody volunteered their vegetables, everybody got to share in the soup. So I think the lesson that this story teaches us is that even though we might be scared to try something new, good things can happen in the end. And I think the other lesson that it teaches us is that not every stranger is going to do us harm, that sometimes we need to see if we can help people out. And when we help people, they can help us in return. So you think about what lesson you think this tale tells us, and you can go ahead and write your sentence down here. Please remember, capital letters at the beginning, periods at the end. And the word gathered up here, it says he gathered food to put into the pot. When we gather something, what does it mean? It means we bring it to a place. So if I go through my room and gather all my toys, or I gather my books, it means I'm going to pick them up and put them all in the same place. So the little boy went around to all the villagers' homes and gathered food. He got food from each family. So gathered means to get and put in one place. So go ahead and pause while you write. And that is the end of our story for this week.